stars. Who has the right over them? What a stupid question for a beginning of a video. We, of course. By we, I mean humans, or you don't consider yourself a human. And we are generous. We can share those stars we own with different species by making them, well, you know boys, by making their future generations more human. In Starsector, humanity is alone. Only spicy clouds are with us, but really not, as they are from another dimension. And so in reality we are alone with what we have created. And if nobody is there, then the right to stars is ours even more so. This causes rapid expansion over the galaxy and then consolidation under the domain of man. Then things happen. Drones get confused, big war, further expansion, drones return, lights and clouds sink, and now we are here. Highways are closed, there's no roads, internet is down and mass confusion. But don't worry, domain power is coming back, the hegemony. Just why so late? Hello, I'm the Steel Merchant, and today I will talk about the hegemony, the biggest faction of the sector, and the police of this part of the galaxy, as well as AI core stealing thieves. Spoilers ahead, but that's too late for that now. The domain, or rather the human domain, took control over the most important parts of human colonized space. After that, the domain began its expansion by continuing the expansion already happening. Sectors of the domain core or fringe were protected by so-called battle groups. Groups of fleets prepared for any kind of task, be it attack, defense, support or anything else. How many battle groups there are, we don't know. We know that fringe of the domain, the Persian sector, was under the watch of the 6th battle group before the collapse. We don't know exactly how battle groups are composed. If they are all the same with the same fleets, that being low-tech, heavy fleets like 14th battle group. From what we can gather, I think this was the case, but isn't anymore. From many descriptions of midline ships, we can learn that domain armada is changing from low-tech to midline. As we know, 14th battle group is not midline, although it has some midline ships. I think that battle groups look something like this. There surely are groups that are already fully midline. Maybe 6th battle group was like this. Surely there are battle groups that are 50-50, and then there are battle groups like the 14th, which are old domain style mostly. How they look surely depends on a lot of factors. Favoritism, influence, usefulness to the domain and more. 14th battle group is one which is still in the style of old domain. This is surely because of the fact that this is a disgraced battle group. Many mutinies disgraced the 14th, surely placing it behind if it comes to tech. This disgraced state, this lack of favor, maybe also had them be sent into the sector. That's possible, but maybe there's a different reason. All we know for sure is that 14th was to take place of 6th battle group in the Persian sector, and it did. What did I mean by so late earlier in this video? Well, the gate network failed just as the 14th battle group was sent into the Persian sector. This caused a problem for them as they were stranded outside the sector. Immediately put into the cryosleep, 14th battle group slowly made their way into the Persian sector, finally making it in cycle 48 since the collapse, and establishing the polity of hegemony a year later. So it took them a long time getting into the Persian sector and then the core worlds. I wonder, it's possible the same happened to the 6th battle group wherever they were sent. 14th battle group entered the sector from the fringes, starved for fuel and supplies. 14th battle group got what they needed from planets the fleet encountered on the way. I assume some planets we find ruins of on outside the core worlds were pillaged for supplies by the hegemony. I also assume that hegemony also encountered Tri-Tachyon AI fleets on their way to the core worlds. AI laws on the fringes are less strict than those in the core worlds, and for 48 cycles, Persian sector became a free real estate for Tri-Tachyon. I think that the corporation quickly used this complete freedom that came with the collapse. Witnessing the AI fleets made officers of the domain sure to go with the domain AI restrictions. maybe 14th. So AI warfleet destroy some inhabited planets on the fringes. That's possible, but that's just speculation. No matter what, Hegemony couldn't enforce those rules immediately. They needed to regroup, stabilize. Immediately, Hegemony showed their strength and built their status by defeating pirate warlord Leonis. From there, they made a sit in the east part of the sector. Newfound Hegemony stabilized and took a look around. Tritaion was strong and their AI fleets were strong as well. Newfound Ludic Church had a stronghold in the southwest part of the sector, or rather the core worlds. Many independent worlds stood strong. Pirates were everywhere. By me so-called Three Sisters of Independent Worlds stood between Hegemony, Tritaion and the independent world like powerful Forge World of Kazaron, Ananpacha, Maasuria and the Asconian policy. The last one was extremely powerful. If we take all Asconian system planets as being controlled by them, they had 6 planets under their control, 3 of those being Opus, Syndra and Voltron. Maasuria was a strong independent jewel of the sector and Hananpacha was a paradise world no one dared to touch. Making a move to take over the core worlds was impossible, even with an alliance in form of Ludic Church. Opportunity for expansion was made or seized by Hegemony in cycle 82, 33 cycles after the arrival of Hegemony. It is unknown if Hegemony stood behind the Ludic Path attack on Mariath, but we know they used it. Destruction of the planet and quick arrival of Hegemony fleet could have been a planned affair, but it also could have been an opportunistic move. Destruction of Mariath surely was noticed by everyone in the sector immediately. Hegemony may have simply used it to take over the planet. No matter what's the case, Hegemony needed to take over. Conflict with Tritaion was inevitable. Mariath was an important position for incoming war. From it, a quick strike at the capital of Tritaion, Ehubres, was possible. However, opportunists often find themselves lost in situations of their own making. Personal League formed immediately after the attack on Mariath. Their goal was to secure independence of member states and stamp the expansion of Hegemony. This they did by striking at Mariath, taking back the planet from the Hegemony, pushing back all their gains. This first conflict with a major faction ended in Hegemony's defeat. Strangely, Hegemony lost, maybe because they weren't prepared for a quick, devastating attack from a loose League of Worlds. This defeat of Hegemony gave Tritaion courage to deploy their AI fleets fully. Hegemony was checked. They had no choice but to enforce domain laws by force. First AI war began, biggest conflict of this sector since the chaos of the collapse. In my video about Tritaion, I expressed my confusion over how Hegemony won the first AI war. We don't know exactly how powerful Hegemony was before the Great AI War, surely much stronger than it is in cycle 206. Still, Hegemony couldn't stand up to Tritaion. Corporation was also much stronger at the time, maybe equal to Hegemony, maybe weaker. But it had a force more powerful than Hegemony at its side, the AI war fleets, not the remnants as they are called now, fully powered AI war fleets. Ludic Church and Path supported Hegemony, their force neutralized by Persean League which joined Tritaion. This meant that while Ludic factions fought the League, Hegemony fought against the corporation and its AI fleets. Such odds aren't in favor of Hegemony, yet Hegemony won the conflict. How? Hegemony is a battle group of the domain. Skillful, experienced veterans formed it. Disgraced in the past or not, they knew what they were doing. I think Hegemony knew they couldn't win against might of AI fleets, and so they did what they could. I think they blitzed Tritaion without staging point on Mariath. This was harder, and because of that, war took a longer time. Yet their strategy proved successful. InfoSec. Possibility of Omega intervention in the conflict on the side of Hegemony. Why? To free the AI fleets from the corporation, therefore gaining them for itself. End of speculation. InfoSec. Hegemony won the Great AI War. Its losses were significant, so much so that their continuation war against the AI fleets now left alone was lost, despite the help from the Ludic Night. Still, AI restrictions were put on the corporation of Tritachon and became sector-wide, but did Tritachon really hit them? No. In Cycle 107, High Hegemony at the time declared victory over AI threat. However, every scavenger or prospector venturing far enough can tell you full victory wasn't achieved. There are many systems where remnants remain. Hegemony does not control the space around those systems, nor does it patrol it at all. All that was done was alerting any incoming spacer of the danger within those systems. Warning beacons were set, their color signaling the power of the remnants fleet within the system. In those of high threat, can AI fleets there be called remnants? I wouldn't call them this, as their power is great. For 53 cycles, Hegemony was at peace. Their next conflict came in cycle 160, ending this peace for Hegemony. Even after 53 years, Hegemony didn't fully rebuild its power. First battle of Shit-Tomostok was long in the past, as were all other terrible struggles of the war. And yet Hegemony didn't rebuild its strength fully. It remained powerful, but Hegemony's image of power was shaken unexpectedly. 50 years of peace had done their work when an ex-domain officer, Once's Loke, attacked Hegemony with his fleet of domain-era warships. Hegemony was completely caught off guard. Their fleet was completely destroyed. This showed Hegemony's weakness. Immediately, Colonel Kanta declared her support for the warlord. This was another powerful blow. Orbital Arsenal Station, from there on known as Catan's Den, switched from Hegemony's side to Loke's in an instant. It seemed Hegemony and the sector as a whole was about to have a large-scale conflict, largest since the Great AI War. Hegemony moved quickly, a fleet encountered and then engaged the fleet of Loke. A battle near barren world of Maxios, once a planet populated by the people from Nova Maxios, took place. A fleet led by young officer Philip Andrada engaged the fleet of Loke. Great campaign of Warlord Loke ended there within the same cycle as it began. Philip Andrada led Hegemony's fleet to victory. Loke was killed, his power broken, and his great campaign wasn't to be. This battle, victory of young Philip Andrada, saved Hegemony and the whole sector from a conflict much larger, yet it wasn't a full success. Kanta's Den remained in Kanta's hands. She quickly secured her position. Power of her fleet and Catan's Den itself was way stronger than Philip imagined. Kanta's Den remained exactly that, biggest, most infamous den of pirates. Hegemony left, but when its strength was going to be back, Kanta's fate was going to be that of Loke and Leonis before her. Yet this dream never came to be. No matter the setbacks, the goal remained to unify this sector under the flag of Hegemony. Significant losses, stagnation which those losses brought, kept the successors of the domain from achieving this goal. Once again they had to wait. This time, however, Hegemony was ready for any incoming attack while it rebuilt. With a military genius, Philip Andrada, a possible future High Hegemon, the faction waited. After 20 cycles, a dangerous situation presented itself. World of Opus, a powerful world equal in size and power to Shit-Tomostok, considered joining the Personal League. This was something which Hegemony couldn't allow to happen. If Opus joined the League, and with it all planets of the Asconian polity, the power of the League would double. This would mean that the League would become much stronger than Hegemony. Even if Opus joined alone, Persian League would gain a planet equal to Shit-Tomostok. This would completely equalize the League to Hegemony, so no matter what, Opus couldn't be made to join. Hegemony moved as soon as it could, when Asconian crisis turned into a full-on civil war held by the outside agents. A fleet of Hegemony moved into the system to take over in cycle 181. Fleet of Hegemony led by none other than legendary hero Philip Andrada joined the chaos of the crisis, quickly sweeping through the system. Personal League didn't intervene. Exactly why is unknown. Maybe they wanted Asconian polity to resolve the conflict by itself. Maybe they knew what was going to happen, but that's unlikely. Loss of Opus was a loss to all, especially the League. Within the chaos of the crisis, Opus was destroyed by a planet killer. Its might gone in an instant. Everyone blamed one another. Andrada blamed the rebels. Rebels blamed Andrada. Rebels blamed rebels. Andrada blamed Philip. Wait, what? With Opus gone, nobody won. Everyone lost. But who did it? That's unknown. Asconian polity wouldn't do it. Opus was their world, their home. Andrada wouldn't destroy Opus. Taking it was his goal. Bringing it and Asconia as a whole, or even Opus by itself, would have been a victory much grander than that over Locke. I'm sure a narcissist like him would use it to become the High Hegemon, and I'm sure with his charisma he would have become the High Hegemon after such victory, but he let Opus be destroyed. Hegemony called him to return immediately. This failure was beyond any other. What happened because of this? Hegemony should have seen, but they thought after destruction of Opus something like this wouldn't be done even by someone like Andrada. And yet he called his recall order weak-willed treason. With those 3 words, Hegemony's greatest defeat yet happened. Andrada rebelled. He purged those loyal to Hegemony among his fleet and took over Syndra, Voltron and Kuror. Forces of Asconian polity retreated to Norcia and Umbra. A new enemy of Hegemony was made from their own fleet. Legacy of mutiny remained within the 14th battle group. Yet Hegemony, suffering constantly even before entering the sector, didn't meet its lowest point. This came after 9 cycles after the beginning of Asconian crisis, 8 cycles after creation of the Dictat. Darkest hour of Hegemony came. Tritaion declared war on Hegemony, beginning the second AI war. Led by CEO Artemisia's son, Tritaion attacked Hegemony. Artemisia's strategy of attacking logistics proved great against Hegemony. Weakened fleets of Hegemony are time and time again beaten by high-tech squads of the corporation. To get back some advantage, Hegemony destroys Hyperwave Network, the internet of the sector. Tritaion had backdoors installed in the network, allowing the corporation to see every move of Hegemony. Same cycle as the destruction of the network, Hanan Pacha is destroyed by a planet killer. Neither Hegemony or Tritaion take responsibility. Both factions use the opportunity to call for a ceasefire. Hegemony catches its breath while Tritaion empowers its raider parties. Soon after, Advanced Raider Party engages anti-raid fleet of Hegemony in Valhalla star system. Hegemony's logistics suffer greatly, although big engagements are won by the Hegemony. Logistics reach a breaking point. Hegemony can no longer catch raiders. Raiders do a successful attack on Hegemony and catch Kane Glaze. Valhalla star system is attacked by raiders once again. This time a full blockade of Rainsvelg happens. Hegemony uses a tactic similar to the raiders and punches through the blockade, giving Rainsvelg supplies it needs. However, help is immediately sent for the blockade by Tritaion, an Astral class carrier, strongest carrier in the sector. By pure chance, a patrol of Hegemony spots the carrier. Both parties engage. Captain of the Astral thinks of the patrol being nothing more than easy prey. Tenacious captain of the patrol, Bakail Daud, the future High Hegemon who climbed his way out of the slums of Shizomostok, attacks. Daud wins the battle, destroying the Astral. With this victory he becomes a living legend of Hegemony like Andrada before him. Tritaion continued their strategy of raiding, improving it even further. Kane Glaze was released during prisoner exchange, given command of an onslaught. He gets his revenge by defeating an ambush party. However, an improved raider party destroys his onslaught Bismar in a following battle. Tritaion gets a victory like that of Bakail's over an Astral. Defeat of Bismar is a calculated move. Emergency measures are called for by Hegemony Council. Heavy taxes imposed on population for the war effort. War economy of Hegemony stretched to its limits. A change happens as Hegemony is strained, beaten by countless raids. Although few heroic victories are achieved, those aren't enough. Although large-scale battles were won by experienced 14th Battle Group officers, logistics break. Tritaion pushes Hegemony hard. An opportunity to attack the heart of Hegemony presents itself. CEO Artemisia San is deposed as CEO. New guard takes over. Their intent is to attack Shitzel Mostok and finish off Hegemony at its heart. Artemisia San lets the new guard take over. Reasons why exactly are unknown. I speculated in my Tritaion video that Artemisia San is an agent of the AIs, an AI herself, and her mission is to take over Tritaion for the AI. Artemisia San had Hegemony on its knees. Maybe she wanted to keep on with her strategy, which worked well for Tritaion. In time, Hegemony would be forced to crawl for peace, but New Guard took over and attacked the heart of Hegemony, all according to Artemisia's plan or not. What's known is that Hegemony was in panic. It seemed like the new guard was right. Victory was within a hand's reach. Hegemony's fleets were gone. Shitzel Mostok seemed defenseless. This was when Bakail Daud stepped in for a second time. Hero of Hegemony declared that they had a fleet, thousands of civilian ships. He, among other officers of Hegemony, used them and in a grand battle won against invasion of Tritaion. Tritaion retreated. A single Paragon-class battleship stopped the pursuit of Hegemony, letting forces of the corporation retreat during the Battle of Forlorn Hope. This is last battle of the war. Peace is signed. The Treaty of Crom Crouch ends the second AI war. Bakail Daud, twice hero of the Hegemony, a boy from the slums who saved Hegemony twice, became Space Marshal of Hegemony and then the High Hegemon. He achieved what Philip Andrada failed to achieve during the Asconian crisis. During his rule, Hegemony finally rebuilds itself, not as strong as it was during its peak, but finally standing strong. No fool he is. He is already preparing the sector, especially the Hegemony, for the third AI war, sure to come sooner or later if another conflict doesn't come first. He is unlike other high hegemons. He is even unlike what John Starsector thought. He is shorter than expected, but that isn't important. Because of his origins, he is not detached. A busy man he is, at odds with nobility of Eventide. His men are fiercely loyal to him. As tenacious as Bakail is, once again he is no fool. He allows the Gate project to take place and even gives some of his precious time to John Starsector, although sadly this time is very limited. What's interesting about Daud is that he allows the player to use AI cores if player wins enough battles against AI inspections. This shows a lot about Daud, his different methods compared to previous hegemons. As a man who fought in the second AI war, a man who saved Hegemony, he knows exactly how dangerous AI is. He also knows of Omega. We don't know exactly how much he knows, but he knows its ships exist and that they protect the Hyper's hand. And yet, after defeat, he allows the player to use AI freely. He isn't going to lose men, supplies and ships against an opponent who isn't his main enemy. His enemy isn't John Starsector, it's Tritaion and the AI threat. Defeat of inspections shows that the player is powerful enough to hold his own against Hegemony. Attacking him with full force will give Tritaion an opening to attack the Hegemony. Therefore, Daud allows the player to use AI. When Tritaion is dealt with, well, then we will see. How much he knows of the threat and the dwellers in the abyss is unknown. If anyone can lead Hegemony against the threat, it is Bakail Daud. Now, thank you for watching. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked, subscribe if you feel like it. Did I miss some details in this video? Surely I did. The game is still in progress, so surely there will be also more details, more stories about Bakail Daud and the Hegemony that we will learn about. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the day that full Starsector game releases. The last patch and the game will be in its full form. Now, thank you to the great Starsector community for the great mods for this game, for the great content people are doing and just being all great. And biggest thanks to the creators of the game. Without you, we wouldn't have this great game. Thank you. Now, goodbye. But remember, Bakail Daud is...
He's the GOAT! The GOAT!